Hey friends, the Galaxy Z Fold6 is now the 6th generation of foldables from Samsung. At first glance, the innovations that the Fold 6 brings seem very limited, but you only think that until you hold the device in your hands. Has Samsung reached the end of evolution with the Fold 6? Certainly not. There is definitely still room for improvement. But the Z Fold 6 is still one of the best foldables on the market, and whoever chooses this device is choosing a very unique lifestyle. If you pull the Z Fold 6 out of your pocket, you will definitely arouse curiosity around you because foldable phones are not very common yet. The benefit of a smartphone that can be folded out into a tablet is not necessarily obvious to everyone at first glance until they have tried it for themselves. Because having both a smartphone and a tablet with you at all times is more than practical. I was traveling in New York with the Z Fold 6 for 5 days, and during that time it was my normal smartphone for writing WhatsApp messages, making phone calls and taking photos, but when opened it was also my e-reader and entertainment device for the long journey, and above all, the best travel guide in the city that never sleeps. Because Google Maps on the unfolded 7.6-inch display is a game changer for orientation and navigation through streets that you don't know like the back of your hand. It is very practical that the Z Fold 6 is 14 grams lighter than its predecessor. 14 grams doesn't sound like a lot, but it is still noticeable the longer you hold the device in your hand. How often I have held it in my hand in the last few weeks that I have owned the Fold 6 is unfortunately easy to see on the external display. I can only recommend to put on a screen protector if you don't want your device to quickly look like mine. I really hardly put the Z Fold 6 down during the test. I think the flatter edges make it feel much better in the hand, and it also looks more modern and futuristic. Where I would definitely have liked a bigger upgrade was in the form factor. The Z Fold 6 has gotten a little bit wider, but unfortunately only by a few millimeters. Typing on the external keyboard has gotten a little bit more relaxed, but the keyboard is still extremely narrow. If you have thick sausage fingers, you will quickly reach your limits. But you can easily open it up and then you have an extremely large keyboard, and I'll be honest, that's exactly where I struggle. Once you've gotten used to the extremely narrow external keyboard, you find an extremely wide keyboard inside, and fast routine typing is no longer an option. The same effect happens the other way around, so it's always a matter of getting used to going from extremely narrow to extremely wide, where my brain always has to start working when I'm typing. And I don't want that. Did I just say that out loud? What really impressed me, however, was the noticeably improved performance of the Z Fold 6. Of course, the Z Fold 5 was also fast for its generation, but you can definitely say that the Z Fold 6 was released a year later. 1 year in which more powerful processors and optimized software were developed. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy does a great job here, and the special NPU is optimized for Galaxy AI, Samsung's AI features. These AI features are really impressive, and I find the interpreter particularly useful, which translates both phone calls and personal conversations in real time. Sometimes more, sometimes less accurately. But especially when you're traveling, having something like this in your pocket is really more than practical. Especially when the person opposite can read along from the external display. The other AI functions, such as the advanced photo editing, work surprisingly and outstandingly well, but the use cases are very limited for me personally. And let's talk about photos and the camera, which of course was in constant use in New York. And the camera is just really, really good. Whether day or night, the photos are always sharp, even with point and shoot. This is due to the triple camera with 50, 12 and 10 megapixel, and also ensured by the AI, which always visibly edits the images, but always for the better, at least in my opinion. If you're out and about with the Z Fold 6 all day, taking photos and videos, using the large internal display a lot for navigation, etc., you will quickly reach a limit, and that is the battery. At 4400 mAh for 2 displays and the powerful processor, even if it is supposed to be energy efficient, it is simply not big enough. To be fair, however, you have to differentiate here, being on the move in New York City for 12 hours with Google Maps constantly on and taking videos and photos versus at home or in the office on Wi-Fi with checking emails, writing WhatsApp, surfing and watching YouTube. In the first scenario, after about 7 hours of continuous use, the battery was at 10% and definitely needed to be charged. In the second scenario, I get through the day and usually even through the next morning before I have to charge again. And unfortunately, the decision still has to be made between a large battery and a light and slim smartphone, because storing energy is still one of the biggest challenges of our time. But what is also part of our time is having a powerful device in your hand or pocket that goes far beyond a conventional smartphone. A device that we can use for both work and leisure, that accompanies us on our travels and overcomes language barriers. A device that can even replace other devices such as an additional PC and a tablet. Everything is shrunk down in just one device. Flatter, smaller, more beautiful and more powerful. What remains is a foldable that fits in your pocket and accompanies us everywhere. This is a completely new lifestyle that was created 6 years ago with the first Galaxy Fold, and that, I think, has reached an extremely good level today in 2024, namely the level that we are able to achieve today. Do we want more battery? Sure, but there is still no solution without making the device thicker and heavier, which we all no longer want. Wouldn't we rather be able to sink the S Pen into the device? Yes, but same here. Unfortunately, that's not possible without making the frame thicker. And even if there is still room for improvement in many areas, the Galaxy Z Fold 6 still has something over other foldables that I think is crucial, namely the Samsung Galaxy ecosystem. Existing of reliable interfaces, a wide variety of devices from the robot vacuum cleaner to the smart ring, all of which communicate seamlessly with each other, and you can move back and forth between smartphone, tablet and television as easily as if you just have to turn around. And then you leave the house, sit down in a cafe, open the Z Fold 6 and just carry on working. Close it and take it with you to the gym to look at training instructions, navigate to the restaurant on the large display, take a few photos and videos that can be edited easily on the large internal display with the S Pen. Chat with a waiter in Italian, Croatian or Turkish, quickly check your emails, close it and just let it disappear into your pocket. Friends, this is 2024, and with this device you get a lifestyle that adapts to us and our lives and not the other way around. That was my review of the new Galaxy Z Fold 6. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because we have a common goal this year, namely to grow this channel to 10,000 subscribers, and you can help us by now clicking subscribe. With that in mind, friends, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye and see you next time. Mwah.